I did that. And it actually did it right in time. I was like, oh, I was like, I couldn't believe it.
Yeah. So anyway.
Somebody that brought it up said you should try that. And I didn't have any, leave it.
Yeah.
Oh, we don't.
That's right, that's birthday. Yeah, yeah, I gave you one.
No, I said I didn't get them one.
Yeah, so.
Oh, is this yours?
Michael there Mondays, it goes laundry, we go grocery shopping, fine. He's not the right for it.
Yeah, I'm equipped, don't worry. I'll take care of it.
Yeah, we thought I'd get out. So I don't know. Things different things.
Somebody figured out the Zoom. Oh my gosh, I like it. Yep.
You pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Right. Thank you all for coming. First thing on the agenda is the minutes from the February 10th regular meeting. Did everybody have a chance to look at those? Yeah. Yeah, we got 2 months, so. Yeah. Any corrections or? Yeah, is there a motion to approve those?
I make a motion that we approve the meeting minutes for February 10th for the park board.
For a second,
I'll second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
Okay, we got Jackie Ryan.
Thank you, Ryan. Update on the Starke County Community Foundation Veterans War Memorial Fund.
All right, thank you for giving me an opportunity to come and share with you, like I do every year, about the Veterans Memorial Fund at the Community Foundation. So just a reminder, the Starke County Community Foundation is an affiliate of the Northern Indiana Community Foundation. And we provide grants, scholarships, and community opportunities. One thing that we helped the park board with was the creation and establishment of the Veterans Memorial. We took donations at the time to help people get that 501c3 tax deductible donation for those that were made at the time. And then this fund was created to help maintain that property and allow you to do any additions or keep it looking nice. So the fund itself, the last couple of years, you've just allowed your distribution to stack up. So right now your spendable balance is $3,846 with your distribution from 2026 at $1,260. The endowment gift balance, so that is the number, that is the donation that was made to create the fund, as well as any donations that have come in since it was established. So that's the $26,807. And then the historic income or earnings balance, that is the money that's been generated as a result of it being invested with the community foundation. So it's earned $4,165. And then when you add your spendable balance to that, your total fund balance is $34,818 as of March 1st. Any questions about that top part before I move to the bottom?
Jackie, if I wanted to spend something out of it, do I go through you?
Yep, you would just make a request to me, and so you can either get the full spendable and kind of keep that and just earmark it for maintenance projects for the Veterans Memorial, or you can just ask for a portion of it, and that still allows it to compound on future distributions. So yep, you would just call my office, and my number is right there on that form, as well as on the pens that I passed out. But on the bottom, we always just provide a little projection just to show that even if another dollar wasn't donated, based on our averages, which is assuming 8% growth, a 4% payout, and a 1.5% admin fee, your fund within the next 50 years will grow to over $84,800 with over $110,000 in distributions. So those distributions are the grants that are coming to your organization every year to help with the maintenance and upkeep of the Veterans Memorial. And then on the back, I just added just an overview to show you how your distributions have grown. So when it first got started, it was created in towards the end of 2020. The first year you got a distribution, it was $19. So to see that that's grown from 19 up to 1260, it just shows that, you know, it's compounding and building. And you know, we're just appreciative that you gave us the chance to help you put some dollars away to be able to take care of any projects that might come up related to the Veterans Memorial. And then below that is just an overview of some other grants that have been provided from the Starke County Community Foundation to Starke County Parks. And then I'm joined by our executive director at the Northern Indiana Community Foundation, Corinne Becknell Lucas. And so she's been involved with some of these that you know, were before I came in as director of development in 2021. So if you have any questions, feel free to ask us. But just to give you a quick overview, we've helped with some Bass Lake beach improvements, kayak and paddle boards for the beach. And then another big project was the Starke County Forest Project. The parking lot out there was funded through a community foundation grant. And then I just put a little asterisk talking about how we were able to help collect and direct over $281,200 for the Veterans Memorial Project in 2020. So that is the overview of grant funding that's been provided through the Community Foundation, and then the distributions that are available through the Veterans Memorial Fund. And then I just included a few other pages just to give you a little insight into what the Community Foundation has going on right now. So our Women's Giving Circle, called the Hive, is currently accepting grant applications. I think I've heard that maybe Starke County Parks might be submitting something, so we're excited about that. We offer this on an annual basis. Any women in the community or with ties to Starke County can pay dues to become a Hive member, and then those dollars are directed into grants. Our applications, those video apps, are due Monday, April 20th. And then on the back of that yellow page, I just provided an overview of other grants that we offer. If there's ever any projects that are happening for Starke County Parks or any other organizations you're associated with, there's some information about how you can apply for those. And I also brought some extras if there's anybody in the audience who is an organization representative who would like some more information about grants. I'll just leave those right over here. And then the last thing is just our community partnership luncheon. We hold this quarterly. It's a good opportunity to hear from other nonprofits and service providers in the community, and to highlight any upcoming events or opportunities you might be offering through Starke County Parks. I know you guys have a lot of really fun stuff coming up this year, so these are a good one to attend to, you know, just let people know what you're doing and maybe get volunteers or anything to help with future events. And that's all I've got for you. So I know you guys have a busy agenda, so I will just open it up to questions, and I'm happy to answer.
I would just say, since I've been on the board, it's been a great experience, you know, with
Okay.
you guys. It's been wonderful. So.
I'm happy to hear that.
I have to concur.
Oh, thank you. And I do have an extra folder, so if there's anybody else who wasn't here today or that you want to share that info with.
Yeah. I appreciate everything that you do.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. We appreciate what you do, and we appreciate this report. Anybody got any questions? All right.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good rest of your meeting.
Thank you very much.
Jackie, I'll see you next week on our Tuesday.
Yeah, because
Jackie does a lot of things right here. Where's her eye?
Okay, next thing is an update of the Bass Lake renovation project.
Okay, I know we laughed last time I said this, but I believe this is the last update. We were able to pay Brown and Brown. It went through at the last commissioner meeting, so they were paid out on the 7th. So now all we have to do is mount these 2 places. And I have to get the restroom things mounted. And then I already have the Moby mat, that's paid, we already paid for that. I called them and they were able to open an account for us and take off the tax. So I didn't have to pay for it and get paid back, which was nice. So we're ready to do that. I think next week I will prepare everything and send it to the DNR so we can be done with this.
Was there any balance left at all, or was it, we were right on the dollar or pretty close?
Pretty close, I'd say. Yeah,
Okay.
just over, I mean, just under, but pretty close.
Alright,
So hopefully that will be that. But I mean, it's very nice. And everybody that comes in to see the beach house is impressed and happy to get started.
well, and another thing we should mention too is the park board itself out of our own funds did
Yes.
contributed as well with the
Yes.
roofs, and I think that was almost 60,000 or thereabouts.
Yeah, it was 48 or
48,
something.
okay. Go
But
full
it's
lesson.
close, yes, we
Okay.
did, park board did the roofs, and we covered some other of the insulation and the gas line.
Moving
We
that.
did that, mhm.
And we're having another grand opening.
We're gonna have a party on Memorial Day week on Saturday. We'll at least have, I don't know exactly. I'd love to have a DJ out there
Although they are having that tea party out there on May.
on the 9th.
May 9th.
It's in Memorial Day. I have to get through the 9th
Yeah.
of May.
And I think the beginning part of that is like a dinner, small light dinner.
Yeah.
And that you pay for it, you can get it at the.
Yeah.
Library or something.
But
And
we
then
will
the
do,
second part's free.
yes. And I'll talk about that more in a little bit too, but I do think it's important to make a big deal of the unveiling of the beach house. I'm hoping to have the concessions open, everything ready to go. So,
Great.
mhm.
Okay, any questions about any of that? So now we got Bass Lake Beach House heating cooling bids.
Okay, so in front of you all, you are going to see some. So in order to get, the beach house heat and cooled, we need to decide how we want to best do that and who's going to do it. So Rick Green helped me, luckily, as he does. And we had 3 people come out. Actually, 4, one chose not to give a bid. So we do have these 3 bids to choose from. They are all a little different. So if you look at each one of them has a quote for furnaces, which is heating and cooling, the air conditioning. And then it also has what is called mini splits. So I've learned a lot, and if I can explain this correctly, the furnace and air, it is the lesser expensive option, and it is also the option that will last the longest. From what I can understand, this would be the longest, biggest bang for our buck, if you will. The mini splits, the advantage of the mini splits are a little more expensive, but there's a lot of issues. But you can force all the air to the main room with the mini splits. But Rick says you can get, I forget what these things are called, but it's basically a way to push the air into that main room with a furnace. So he says that's not really that big of a deal. So I guess what you guys need to decide is if you want to go with the furnace or the mini split, and then looking at the quotes, which one. So we have JK HVAC service. They have the quote, the estimate for the mini splits is about 10,000 more than the furnace, you see. On this one though, there would be we'd have to hire someone to do the electric. So that's gonna add at least $10,000 to the job. The others, the electric is included.
For shares.
So you got McGrath, that's double-sided, sorry about that, but and that kind of shows on the back side what we're looking at. And those would be basically just the kinds. Of what's available. And then Russell Service Solution has 2 bids as well. They come in the lowest. And you can see, the the difference there.
And this is the electric. The electric is all included
Yes.
in this quote.
Russell's is included.
It looks like Russell's is the best option.
Not just on dollars either, it's a
Yeah,
more powerful furnace and larger AC
right,
and a cheaper number.
right. And electric and everything. It's,
But there's no rush on this one, right? I mean, because
Well-
I'd say there is a rush, and I would like to draw your attention to the financials. So when I'm doing the budget, when I send it to you online, we don't see everything, and I don't know how to get that fixed right now. But if you go to page 10 of the financials. This did not show up on your online copy, but there's a place for mini split system and water softeners. So last year when I was doing the budget, I grossly underestimated what it was going to cost for mini splits and furnace, obviously. So I think if we take the water softener money and the mini split money and put that for the furnace and then do the water softener next year because I think it's gonna be the same deal. We're gonna need it all. But I think we should move on this, sooner the better. The quotes stay good,
Prices aren't going down.
right?
no, they are not.
I guess the only concern I got is the insulation for the roof. I'm just worried that this,
Mm-hmm.
It-
Yeah, no matter what we do, we're gonna lose some to the roof because of
Mhm.
that huge,
Right.
vaulted ceiling.
right?
But there is the fireplace with the gas insert in that room, and I
Oh, that's
think that
right.
will help,
with
be more, a little bit more efficient in that room.
And so this is step one, kind of getting the building heated and air conditioned and it's the
And then we
move,
would need the well, that's it.
and that's it.
Mhm.
So then what we'd be able to do is keep the beach house open.
Yes, and we'll
Over the
isolate
winter.
the water there,
But,
got everything else done.
Now with the north end bathroom, would that be shut down?
It would
too?
shut down, yeah.
And then the campground
Mhm.
obviously would shut down.
Mhm.
I have a question for that. Yeah, did any of your heating guys say anything about putting ceiling fans in to bring the heat down in the winter?
We have healing ceiling
Do
fans.
you?
Yep, they're in there. You just look. For a tall guy, you'd think you'd notice up there.
I have a question, will the efficiency the same?
I'm sorry.
Is the efficiency of the furnaces the same? Are they 80 to 90% efficient?
They're all 96.
Well, 96, okay, thank you.
Uh-oh. Is that one of us?
What are we saying, that the Russell one?
I
And,
think
and I think one of the recommendations was the furnace may be the better option because that does a better job of.
Yes, does a better job. It's longer lasting and a little bit more affordable.
And then each end with the offices and stuff, we can deal with that with the vents and things
Absolutely.
like that, so that we're not
Yep,
cooling them the whole
Yep.
summer too.
So with Russell, are we talking about the $39,000 quote or the $42,000?
you're talking about the
No, I
39.
think the
so
40,
it's the 43 on that. His is
No.
no, 43 is the mini splits.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
So, yeah,
Yeah.
so we don't want that. And when you talk about the split system, there's one in each end of the building.
Yep, yep, that's right.
Well, I know that's one of the goals of the board is to be able to get that building to be year round, and we made some of the changes to the renovation to accommodate that. so.
Right. And we have 31 to work with, so that would just leave us 9 to take out of repair and maintenance.
Right, so what does that leave us for the well?
Well, it just depends.
Where would that come from when we get to that point?
It would probably be repair and
Repair and maintenance?
I'm gonna try to just go easy over the summer and then at the end of the summer get that done.
And if we go with this, when is this gonna take place?
I'd say he'll get started right away.
Right away?
Mhm.
And how long is it gonna take?
Well, that I don't know.
I don't think it would take them very long.
I don't think, I don't know, but I don't think it'll be too long.
I just wondering how disruptive you start.
I don't know. It would be nice to get it done before the tea party, just in case it's chilly. Or hot. But I don't know if it'd be done before then or not.
Any more discussion? in-
Well, it'd be more rustic for the tea party.
That's true. There's all. Fans. I'll stand there with fans. Yeah.
We didn't have heat at the tea party.
No, they didn't, or air.
Oh, you wish you needed air for the tea party. Is there any more discussion, anyone?
Don't have anything.
Is there a recommendation?
So I would make the motion that we go with Russell Service Solution quote for 39,329.23.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Alright.
Thanks, you guys.
All right, next on the agenda is the discussion of the Bass Lake Campground elect. Amy, you want to start the discussion?
Okay, I'll start. Okay, so. Back in March, as you guys know, I was asked by the commissioners to come to the meeting. And it was discussed that in order to be safe and to address liability, that they wanted all the pedestals to be changed. Any of the ones that were 50 amp to be changed back to 30. And we were not given an option. It was just, this is what needs to be done. And so I didn't want to let everyone know that. I knew it would be unpopular and I don't blame people for being frustrated. So I think some people came tonight to sort of speak on.
But reducing that is a solution that we needed to come to open up for this season.
Yes,
We are
so
working on trying to get a longer term solution.
yes, I was told by the commissioners that we should do this now in the short term and that they would support us getting a loan from the county to pay back with our revenue over the course of however, whatever that would be. And that they support us getting started going forward with that, starting this summer or the spring.
And actually, to take a step back, the planning director came out and inspected and gave a report, and that was actually option one, was the reducing it to the 30 amp.
Yes.
There are two other options for longer term, but that was his recommendation as well.
I really wanted to get this done prior to this year. I really did, but government is government and we received some resistance. But we're in a position now where I think the county knows what we need to do. And they're gonna approve us doing it before next season. I sincerely think they're gonna approve that. And they're gonna loan us the money and then we'll pay it back over a period of time. So I apologize to all the campers for any kind of inconvenience this is gonna cause you this summer. I wish we could have done this, but it just wasn't possible. There was just too much going on and they just weren't willing to go for it this year, but they've assured us that they're going to do it prior to next year's camping season. So this year we're gonna have to dial everything back a little bit. And I know that's gonna be an inconvenience for people and we're sorry about that, but we're trying the best we can to make it the best campground we can make it.
Right, and I think the first step to that, and I believe this was the Justin Schramm's recommendation, is we do have to go forward and get a request for proposal. That's a legal requirement because of
Yes.
what we estimate the dollar amount of
Yes,
the
I didn't
overall.
have a chance to print that email, but I did correspond with Justin and he said that, yes, we do need that. If it's over $50,000, you do have to have that study.
Right, and we're pursuing, trying to put that together to be
Yes.
able to send those out to try to get that, those quotes.
Yes, sir.
Quick question, what are we looking at as an overall estimated at this point of the project to upgrade the campground to?
I wish I had, John's report in front of me.
It was
Ballpark.
$250,000.
$250,000.
Yeah, and then
That's just
that
an
might be
estimate.
low
That's-
too.
Yeah,
Not a guarantee that it's gonna cost that much.
right. That was.
Yeah, no, I just,
As an electrician, I would say that that's a conservative estimate.
Yeah, that might be a little low.
A different idea than what Richard was talking about as far as them loaning us and us paying it all back. What I'd like to suggest is that, like other grants and things like that, that the park board pay half of it back and the county match the other half. That's gonna be something that I'd like to propose, and that's just me, that's, so.
Well-
I'm always asking them for more, so.
Yeah, I don't know how we're gonna do it, but they've assured us they'll work with us to get it done and, I apologize for the inconvenience this summer. It just couldn't be helped and, hopefully next year it'll be done and I think once it is done, it'll be better for everyone. And it should last for, I would say, 20 years or so, but who knows?
Gosh, the last electric lasted 50 years.
Yeah.
So maybe update, all of the fifties have been converted, we're
They-
finished with that?
Yes, thank you. So it was all completed today. So all the pedestals have been converted back to 30.
So I gotta bring something up, because I was at the property owners meeting on Saturday, and I was asked the question about the electric 50 amps and when they were changed over. And up until that point, I thought it was all done under Callahan, the person who leased it. But I guess because I thought it was kind of a funny question, but so I did some investigating afterwards just to make sure that the answer I gave was correct, and it wasn't 100% correct. So there were some, I guess a couple of years ago, maybe a superintendent or two before, some authorization of some 50 amp, like 2 or 3, to go up to from 30 to 50. So I just wanted to make sure that was clear. And we have to take a look. The other question I got was, did any campers do that on their own? And I think we still need to investigate that. I'm not sure where we're at there, but if there was, it would only have been one camper that we can tell based on our brief investigation, so.
Yes, sir.
Did they change the plugs or just the breakers?
The
Just the
breakers,
breaker.
Just the breakers, so the 50 amp plug is still there,
yes,
so we should be able to plug right into that.
right,
Okay,
just the breakers.
Yes, sir.
I get a hold of you. The,
Sorry, I was in a river meeting all day.
that's fine, that's no problem. The 50 amp breaker that I had in mind, I would like that back.
Okay. You're
Because
not
I
the
had
only
to put
one.
the whole thing in,
Sure.
because our friend Callahan, the 30 amp was gone,
Okay.
so I told him I just put a 50 in.
Right, well, and that brings up.
And you're not the only one who wants it back.
Right, and that brings up a good point. So even those who haven't asked for it back, obviously, we're gonna keep those
Yeah,
ones that we took out and put them in the garage and make sure
Yeah.
we store them for
But
when.
I like mine, cause
Yeah.
it's a square D,
They work for whenever we do, but
and I can.
it was the only one like that, so I learned about that.
Yeah. Yeah, so if this kind of issue, I just like it back, and those are double throw breakers that they're putting in,
are they what?
right?
I'm assuming so, I would say.
I mean, there are
Mhm.
2 breakers tied
Yeah.
together.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Anything else on the electric?
Just a
Yes, sir.
clarification on the, kind of summarize this whole thing. So we have undergauge wiring. And they put in breakers that are over the rating for the wiring. And that's where we're standing now, is the gauge of the wire does not meet the spec for the breaker.
well,
That's what the concern was.
that in my brief walkthrough a couple of months ago at the
Mhm.
request of Todd and a couple of the councilmen is there's also pedestals there that just have boxes screwed to the side of them that are now the 50 amp plugs. And that's a code violation in itself. Those pedestals have to be standalone, they have to be self-supported. You're not allowed to tap into those and
Yeah.
just add boxes on them to change.
Yeah,
things.
but although I'd have to say though, that didn't come out in John's report. John didn't highlight any of what the last part you just said. So,
What John did would change, the suggestion to just change the breakers, I mean, it improves the safety. Now, there's only 30 amps that are available.
right, but he didn't just,
What he's thinking about is that it's all gonna get redone anyways, and those boxes will go away, so there's no point.
that may be true, but what I'm saying is in his report, he did a very thorough inspection. He took all the covers off. He inspected everything behind the scenes. It wasn't just kind of look at and see the numbers and know that it's not right. So his inspection was pretty good, I thought, because I was out there when he did it.
Mhm.
So the boxes are still on the pedestals. What I'm getting at is, do I need a 30 amp plug or can I just plug my 15?
You didn't change any of the plugs, just the breaker.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what he was saying, all right.
And if that's not the case, let us know right away. But I don't think I think
Most of the ones with
Correctly.
the boxes screwed to the side of them, when I looked at them, the 30 amp part of it was trashed anyways, there was nothing you could do with it. You know,
Mhm.
so, I mean, you either have a 50 amp plug or no plug in most of those situations, so I would say the 50 amp
If
is
there's
still
no
there.
plug, that'd be it.
Again, I apologize. I'd like to get it completed this year, but it just didn't happen. Okay, moving on. Discussion of pavilion and other rental costs at Bass Lake Beach.
So this might be something, I don't know if you guys want to decide on the spot. There's a sheet that looks like that. Last month when we were talking about, I haven't really even hardly looked at this since last month. I've been so busy. But it just gives you kind of a rundown of the things what everything costs. So I don't know if you guys thank you, you guys. I don't know if you're, if you wouldn't want to change any of these, but at least we should probably look at them. So nightly RV camping is $50 a night, 55 on holidays. It's $300 per week. I forgot to put on here by month, it's $900. And then seasonal is 31, of course. So tents camping is 25 without electric, and 30 with electric. I think those probably are pretty fair rates. If you say for instance, if you take the monthly camping and that's $29 a day, so 50, per night, if you're just doing that way, seems pretty fair and probably, I don't know what other campgrounds were charging and that was pretty well it. The beach gate fees, we did $5 for single person, $10 per carload. I think that worked pretty good. Still free on Wednesdays. The season beach passes. So we charged 85 and 120 for non-residents, 85 for a resident. The pre-sale amount last year was $40. We could increase that a little, maybe. I don't know. All I know is at the end of the year, we were down $1,000 from Beachgate from the year before, and I don't like to be less money, but I don't know what can account for that. I don't know if selling the beach passes accounts for that. And if it does, I guess in some ways, I mean, if that means families can come more often, maybe $1,000 less on the beach is okay. But at least 2 people have already reached out to me to see if I'm going to do that reduced price on the pass again, because it was so nice for their families. So I said, we have a meeting tonight. I'll know soon. Pavilion rental, it cost $100 to rent at Bass Lake. So that includes entry for everyone in the party. So, I put on there kind of what we're kind of higher than other parks, but no other parks charge entry. So that's why the little bit higher
we're
price. in the
in the
pavilion.
park.
So Knox Park,
Pavilion?
Knox Park is $50 to rent a pavilion and Winnemac is $42.80. But they don't charge to get in
And they're not on the lake.
and they're not on the lake.
Yeah.
When, have we ever raised it? Or is this way?
This is the prices that when I got
Since
here. Mhm.
Yeah, cause I don't remember ever raising it before.
Now, the kayaks were $10 per hour. We did not rent those out last year. I kind of think that's a little high. Most places seem to be doing it by half day, like maybe $25 a half day or $20 a half day. Cause that way you could really spend time with your family. $10 an hour if you've got, 5 kids and a mom and a dad, that's a lot of money. So it's just something to think about. And I don't know if you guys want to mull this over and talk about it next month.
You looked at Valparaiso for the kayak prices?
No,
Rogers Lakewood Park is $25 for 2 hours.
okay.
So they're a little higher than the.
Yeah. Yeah, so if you think
So
of it
it's
that way,
deal.
it is. So maybe we just want to mull this till next month.
I'm gonna think about it a little bit.
Yeah. It's a lot.
I would like to talk about previously, we had given out free passes to the county employees. I would like to not do that this year. Half price maybe, but definitely we gave out way too many last year, I think. Sorry.
Yeah.
It's true.
Yeah, and actually there was some hurt feelings over it all. And to be honest, the law recommendation is just to not do it.
Yeah, I don't remember, I guess I didn't even remember us doing that.
We gave
Yeah,
them,
we did.
I had, and
We
actually
never
what
lost
the
our-
problem was the previous years, everyone that works for the county got a free beach pass. Well, that's kind of expensive.
Mhm.
So this year I was like, okay, well, I'm gonna limit it to 50 and that caused a lot of hurt feelings. So basically, I was advised to it's probably not do that.
What about maybe consider, should we maybe consider like, say, the second Sunday of each month in June, July and August, it'd be free to the county residents?
It's possible, it's just how back.
That's
up are we
something
gonna
that-
get the
true,
kids, and how are they gonna prove it
Yeah.
to the kids?
Yeah, how are they gonna? I say we offer it at half price.
We could have one day, I think, but
They have Wednesdays for free.
yeah,
That price is still like that deal. It's $10, right, for a person, $5 for a
Yeah.
person to walk.
No,
Right.
$10 is just fine.
well, $10 if you have a
Our
whole.
level.
Oh, that's-
Yeah.
that's $5 for-
Something we gotta vote on, or is that?
I don't know.
Maybe should we just wait?
We could, here's my thought. I would like to keep the cost to go to the beach as low as we can.
Yeah.
I really do. I really want
I agree.
people to use it. But I don't think $10 for a carload is a bad price. I think $5 for a single is a good price. As far as county employees, I think to give them a free day is kind of tricky, but I would rather, if we're gonna do anything, give them a half price.
Okay.
Because I think it'd be hard to keep track of the
I
free
think so,
day
too.
type thing.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, why don't we kind of sit on this and think about it? But if people ask me about the half price beach pass or whatever, I am going to say we're gonna do that again this year. But I'll let them know the dates after the May meeting. Okay. Well, that sounds good to me. And the only other thing is the beach house. I don't know yet how to even rent that out during the beach season. I have a few ideas and we'll see how it goes. And then the fire pits that we got for the s'mores on the beach, Bev and I were kind of thinking maybe we could rent those possibly to raise some revenue. Bev cuts firewood and sells that and donates the money. So could be a little extra money, but just kind of think about those things. And I think maybe next month we should revisit them.
All right.
Think we're at the superintendent report.
Okay, well, you'd think I'd have 1,000,000 things, because I've been doing 1,000,000 things. But I don't have too many things. First of all, Teresa noticed that our September 8th park board meeting, the commissioners booked the room.
Yeah.
So. What do we wanna do? For
That's
that?
the day after Labor Day, isn't it?
I
Oh, I
believe
bet,
so.
yes, that
So
is
that's
why.
why they went to the next day.
Well, we can go to Wednesday, I guess, if it's open.
Works for me.
Yeah, I can check on Wednesday.
Okay. Yeah, Wednesday, so it's possible we're going to do that.
Yeah, we'll just send out an email.
Just let us know.
Yeah.
Okay.
Flexible.
That was easy. Okay, so a few things. First of all, I want to again thank Jimmy Cussy for all his help. So Jimmy never comes to the meetings and not a meeting guy, he's a doer. But he just really has been so valuable to our department in ways that I can't even express. He's always there to help. If I call him, he's there in 2 minutes. He lives just down the road, anything I need. So Jimmy helped with the shutting down when we turned the water off and then we opened it, he helped me open it back up. Well, when we shut down in the fall, there were a couple factors at play. But there were some issues when we opened back up. And so we did have to call back the plumber from Edward White who did the renovation for something over on the campsite bathroom. It's already fixed, no problem. But both Jimmy and the plumber think it best that we have a plumber there in the fall when we shut the water off and then, you know, just went to be there when we open it up in case there are any issues. I'd like it to be the plumber who did the same plumber. He's been great, very
That's
easy
the
to
one who
work
did the
with.
installation too. right?
Yes,
So-
yes. Real great guy. So, and we're kind of on a schedule for that. So I have someone Flow Technics now coming to look at the pumps every year. So maybe with the electric, we, you know, have someone come at the end of the season, check things over. I think we just need a better maintenance schedule is what I'm getting to. And we're building it and we're getting there. So now that we're talking about bathrooms, the bathrooms down all the way on the beach, those older ones that were built in 1980. So we just have a lot of trouble with those because of the rusty water. It clogs up the mechanisms in the toilets and they never want to flush right. And all this to say that bathroom needs some work. So I called a different plumber, a local plumber for that one. And Don DSNS, we have an account with him. And it's gonna, to get things going kind of right, it might be around $1,000. And I just want to make sure you guys are okay with that. Cause I know we talked about maybe in the next year or two, really renovating them. But when so we could either spend a little money, spend $1,000 or $1,500, get them working good for the year, or we can rent porta potties for the year for down there, which will be around the same price. to
That's
tell you
way
the
more
truth.
expensive.
Probably more expensive.
So I guess what I would suggest is for whatever it is that he's recommending, send us a quote of exactly what that's gonna get us. I mean, what the, you know, a more precise number and what's actually gonna be replaced. Is it
Yeah.
just a gut, I mean, what is it? So.
Can he put a sediment filter in there to help a little bit?
I don't know.
Cause I've got one in my house and it's great.
Well, I figure if not this year, that's what that's what I'm hoping to do next year.
But maybe he can include that right in the thing now to fix
Yeah.
it and then you'll
Right.
be safe this summer.
Yeah, cause at least if he gave us a written outline of what he's actually doing and we better compare what. it's-
Do we have to wait until next month to get those bathrooms open? Cause we're
Hoping
already
to,
in April and the piers are gonna,
Oh, cause you're saying they can't
Yeah.
even open unless we get this working?
do we need bathrooms to have the piers open?
It's a good idea.
I want people.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah, cause you had porta potties last year when the other end wasn't open.
I think we just go ahead with it.
Do it,
It's not
yeah.
that big of a
Expense,
cost.
yeah.
Okay.
Give him a limit. If it goes over that, you have to check into it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm sure you'll know,
yeah.
you'll know.
Okay. Okay, so since we talked about piers. So, you know, we have the tea party going on the 9th. Well, we put in the pier contract that they could go on the 10th all this to say, everyone's sitting there looking at the piers being available and seeing these nice weather we're having and wanting to know, hey, I paid and these are in here, when can we get in? So Gary and I have talked about it, Bev and I have talked about it, but really ultimately it's up to you guys.
We've been telling them May 1st right now.
Right, so do you wanna bump that even a little earlier if we're gonna have this nice weather, once we get the bathrooms open? I mean, it can't be now, cause we don't even have the pier tags yet, although I did call the printer, they're just working on it, so we would have to get the pier tags up, and we have to get the bathrooms open.
But May 1st is only 2 weeks.
It's only 2 weeks
I
away.
guess
Yeah.
that's true.
My
It's gonna be
suggestion is,
Sunday.
my suggestion is I leave it up to you, because you're gonna know when everything's ready.
Okay,
I don't have a problem putting them in as soon as we can, but there's no sense rushing what needs to be done.
Okay.
Okay, so whenever you're ready to let them start getting in the piers, let them get in the piers. That's my feeling.
yeah, well, yeah,
Yes. Yes.
As far as having the bathrooms open to get your boats in, I mean, we were at the campground for weeks last year without a bathroom, so that really has nothing to do with it. And as far as the tags, I mean, everyone pretty much knows what spot is what.
that's
Yeah.
true, but there are a lot of new people, and I just wanna make this point that at the campground, most of the people had bathrooms in their campers. There's no bathroom on the beach side for them to use, I just wouldn't want people to,
Yeah, and the other thing I was mentioning about the tags on the piers, it really, I think, was beneficial for the folks bringing the shore
It's more
stations in.
beneficial for the commercial people.
Yeah.
And
It seems like
marinas.
last year, it took forever to get those tags, and that's what we were kept telling, the tags aren't done, the tags.
Well, we'll have them before.
I would call
So
the
May
printer, they're being made.
1st is still a valid date to get boats in, and that's still pretty early. So.
Yeah, because they're okay to start lifts tomorrow.
Yeah. Well, they were out there doing them today.
Well, again,
Portside was doing
my,
them.
Got it.
my feeling
No,
is-
they've got okay from us to start tomorrow.
Okay. All right.
Okay. We talked about the Bass Lake Tea Party on May 9th, so that'll be before our next meeting. Gosh, these events they're gonna kill me. But I think it will be really awesome. I've gotten a lot of some vendors to come. I think it will be a nice thing. I'm thinking of some kids' games that are, old fashioned, I think jacks, sack races. I saw a game you play with a hula hoop where you hit it with like a stick. I don't know. I thought it would be fun. We're trying to get the kids there. And then there's an Arbor Day event at the Starke County Forest on April 25th, and that's being put on by the 250th committee, but we will have a booth there. I know Teresa's gonna help sell raffle tickets, and I'm gonna have those brochures about the department, and I'll have the books that Bruce Wicklund wants me to sell,
And that goes from like 9 to 12:30 or
Yeah.
something like that.
yeah, and Gwen has a lot of neat vendors coming.
Is the chainsaw guy gonna be there?
Yes. And I saw a photo of the beginning of it. Yes,
Oh, yeah, he's good. I've seen his work. He's really good
yep,
with the
Oh, yeah,
chainsaw.
stumps or something?
Yeah, he makes like,
Just take logs and cover it with the.
bears and.
It's unbelievable what they do with a chainsaw.
Yeah, I mean,
yes, this man, he volunteered to carve a tree at the very front of the forest. And Bruce chose to do a totem pole to represent the Native Americans that were there first. And so Gwen showed me a photo today and it's gonna be awesome. And that gives me a lot of ideas.
that'll be fun.
One more thing, so. Right now, we need to get 8 tables for the tea party. The cheapest tables I can find are at Sam's Club. So
Like
I
folding
don't
tables?
know, no, we need round folding.
You're talking about banquet ones.
Yes, I have the long ones, those are easy to come by, but finding 8 round ones isn't as easy. I can get them on Amazon, but I found them cheaper, well, Teresa found them too, at Sam's. And I've seen them a couple places but I guess my question is, can I get a Sam's credit card? I mean, can you guys authorize that? Because then I could purchase food that way too for the concession stand. So I don't know, I'm just putting.
You
it
need a
to
membership
guys.
card?
Yeah, like some sort of,
Cause I thought policy was we couldn't have a credit card.
Well,
Well, they do have a credit card, but how are you gonna pay for it when you go to Sam's?
that's the
If you're
thing
gonna
is,
pay, you
is
gotta
we
get
don't,
Sam's
we don't
credit
have a
card.
check, we don't have this, we don't have that, we don't have that kind of stuff. You can't take cash, you can't get a check for
That
cash
sounds like
and
a
then do it.
council question to me.
Are you wanting, okay, are you wanting to get a Sam's Club card?
Like a credit
Yeah.
card, yeah.
Or,
Credit.
but you have to have a Sam's Club card too.
It kind of
They're
comes
the same.
together, kind of comes together.
Yeah, they have a membership where you can get both on the same
Yeah.
card.
I mean, you could, oh, they do?
And it would
Yeah.
just be under the Stark County Parks.
Because if you don't get a Sam's credit card, how are you gonna pay for it when you go?
Exactly.
Right, out of my pocket and then get paid.
Well,
I don't know. I didn't
And then
do
state board
that.
frowns on that if you
Yeah.
do too often.
They don't like it and I've already done it multiple times.
You've got a checking account, right? No, there's no checking.
No, I said, this could be $1 million business if I could just run it like a normal business, but we're kind of in the constraints of the government. So no, I have no credit card, no checking account, no.
Cause you
We can only get things from people we have accounts with.
And Sam's isn't gonna give you an
No.
account.
Yeah.
So we have an Amazon account, just for instance, the tables that we found at Sam's plus the exact same tables at Amazon is like a difference of like $800.
Oh,
Wow.
Yeah, $100.
Yeah.
I think you may have to talk to the council
okay.
about authorizing.
Lisa has.
So that ain't gonna happen before May 9th.
Oh. Lisa, what's your idea?
Could one of the foundations help with that?
Maybe, that's a good idea.
Oh, well, the one we just had the presentation
That's
from.
only for like memorial, I think. Is that only for the memorial?
But
fund?
no, you know what that makes me think?
No, but there is grants from that.
What's that video? The
Oh.
video.
Either I'm gonna apply for that Hive grant, or maybe I could.
But we need these tables for the next.
I know, but someone from Mammoth Solar told me that I could always ask for $1,000 from them. That makes that.
Yeah, and I haven't heard back, cause I did ask Chris about it, cause you had said that you didn't think we had gotten their $4,000 check from last year.
We
He
did.
was supposed to check into that and he hasn't gotten back to me yet,
If
so.
I was you, I'd go both ways. Check on the grants and the credit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you'll be tax free if you're buying food now too.
Yeah.
Well, what do other departments within the county do? That they don't, do any of them have a card?
No,
None of them, huh?
not to my knowledge. I know that EMS wants to ask for a card.
What about commissary at the jail? How do they do it?
Yeah, what?
I don't know how the jail does it.
32 of them and 32.
But we have one credit card. And for conferences, things like that. So when you go to conference, you have to check it out
Yeah.
of the others
Property owners, we
and then
don't.
bring it back. And then they're not gonna let us take it for food or tables.
We have the round tables, but we don't. Lease those
They don't
out.
let 'em out.
They don't rent them out.
Well, I'll just keep thinking about that. I
Well,
think-
why don't you talk to the commissioners or one of them and see how we need to approach that.
And I do-
Let's see if there's someone where we can rent the tables from for this event.
I've tried, but we're gonna need them for other.
No, I know,
Yeah.
yeah, but just to get.
Yeah,
it's
this-
crunch.
Yeah,
Does the VFW have any round ones?
then we have the long ones like we do.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I don't know about these guys, but your fire departments and your legions, I don't know if they have round tables.
Yeah, the
I checked with Bass Lake Fire
No,
Department,
Bass-
they only have the long tables too, like
Yeah,
I
Bass
thought.
Lake has long ones.
Space slide.
Those are more efficient.
Yeah. I know, I saw this really nice rack you can get,
Oh,
which
we
would
have all
be,
that.
should I come up there and borrow from you guys?
Yeah.
I can drive in the
See
truck.
round-
We
You
had
can
this
check your
thing
calendar,
out.
because we got 32 round tables, okay,
Wow.
but the problem is, I might have a quinceanera
Okay.
rental at our hall. At
Yeah.
VFW in Lake Station,
Okay,
so I just have to check my calendar to
okay,
see if I do, we probably could lend you them,
okay,
okay?
I hope I can.
No charge.
But I might,
But I just have to check our schedule.
Okay.
Nice of
okay.
you.
Yeah, I just have to check, because
Okay.
I don't know yet, I know I have a quinceanera in May, and I'm just not sure what.
okay,
What's the date of that?
the
May
night,
9th.
the day before Mother's Day. They
Well, we
always
probably
probably
don't have anything that day, I don't think we have anything on Mother's Day, may not, okay, we'll check it out.
check, okay.
Yeah,
Thank
just so
you.
they come back, cause they're brand new, like they're new, so they're not, if they put
Yeah.
tablecloths on them, then that's fine, you get the dollar store and put tablecloths on them,
Mhm.
that's fine, it's just that they're fairly new, so,
Okay.
yeah.
Great,
I'll check, you just need 8 or 9?
8.
Okay,
thank you.
yeah, I'll check that.
Okay,
Just
anything
gotta figure
else?
out how to get-
Well, the only other thing is I went to that River Collaborative meeting today. So I'm gonna be kind of working with Jasper and Porter counties, and I mentioned LaPorte County. And they were very excited to see us all kind of coming together. And the idea is to make the walkways and waterways all kind of connected within a county, and then county to county connect each other. So that's pretty exciting.
Yeah. Kind of like the bike trails.
Yeah,
I did talk to Dr. Fritz. He's very excited. They're very happy about the kayak launch at his property.
good.
The only thing he mentioned is that he has to go over there and clean it up. I don't know exactly what that means, and
Okay.
I don't know what our responsibility is.
Well, I mean, gosh, already cleaning it up. Well, we talked about that today at the meeting, and I had told them what Bruce Wakeland told me when I first started this, because I said, Bruce, why don't you have any garbage cans out here? Aren't you worried about people making a mess? And he said that he learned through experience that when he had a garbage can out there, it was always overflowing with garbage and garbage everywhere. And so when he took it out, there was not, that problem went away, and he figured people were like maybe cleaning out their cars or whatever. And so he said, I just go out, and if there is some garbage, I pick it up. I know, and we will need to do that at the launches. And I'm hoping what would be ideal is if I can get some paddle groups to maybe adopt a launch. That's the first time I ever met Gene Pugh. He was just at English Lake picking up garbage on his own.
He did the last time we were out there when they did the dedication.
Yeah, that's when I met him. And so I know there are people who care and want to make it nice. And so I'm kind of hoping to find some paddlers that would adopt the
How about
launch.
if you put up some signs, because the property owners had the same problem,
Yeah, when-
like Poor Man's Beach. They put garbage cans out there and everybody dumped their home garbage in there.
Yeah,
But maybe you could get, I know, if it works on one person, it's worth it. If you get signs that state, it's like everything else with hiking, carry out what you carry in.
yeah, or leave no trace.
Leave no
Yeah.
trace.
That's a big national thing. I
Yeah.
looked at it.
And if it works for one person, you're ahead.
We're the trying.
Yeah, that's what I think. We'll probably get some leave no trace signs for the launch sites, the forest, all the, if Bruce wants that.
Sounds good.
I just worked in Lake County work release or community corrections. Do you have it?
Well-
Send out the inmates?
No, they don't do that anymore.
They don't. they
They're
used
short
to.
guards.
Yep,
They don't have enough guards to do that.
yep. Cause they even helped at the campground, I think, before.
Yeah,
But they don't
For
do
sure.
anything anymore. That's why they don't have the carpenters
Yeah,
service
no
anymore. They
picnic
don't have
tables.
guns anymore.
let's go to the schools and find community service people that do
Well,
community service, because
But
that's
they've
what
got,
happens.
hopefully you don't have to street.
People that are from the court, they're in court.
But they still have to be watched. We have people
Oh,
come
yeah,
here to
you'll have
clean
to have somebody to
sometimes.
watch them.
Somebody still has to go to watch.
Yeah.
But there's you might want to talk to civic clubs too, like the Lions Club. I think the nasty women of Stark County
They
clean
do
along the
that.
highways.
Yeah, so
And
maybe.
you might be
some-
willing to do something, you might check with the different civic clubs around and see if they'll volunteer for some of that.
Okay, that's it for my superintendent report.
Okay, now we have the financial. report.
Well, so I do have a couple numbers for you. So we have 60 camping sites, 54 seasonal, 6 weekend, 2 handicap. 43 are now paid full. Oh, we have 11 partial payments that are due now. Our first camper will be coming this weekend. But right now we have 20 weekend campsites already booked. And Bass Lake Festival only has 1 left. For the piers, we have 45 paid in full. 11 of those are campers, 2 partial payments. We have 8 open spots. And we have, 41 of those still need payment. That's 98 altogether. And we have 3 paid jet ski spots. One of those is a camper.
So the oldest was, I think we have a list, right? A waiting list for
Mhm.
those, so
Oh.
should we start calling them now and
Yep.
see
Yeah.
if we can get those spots? But
Yeah, it should
No,
be easy.
I don't have any waiting list. Mine I use.
Well, I have a bunch of little papers with names on them.
Hope the window blow.
we're trying to get the 8 spots filled in the green.
It should be easy.
Okay.
Okay. So for the financials, I mentioned before, maybe not everything's showing up on my report that I'm sending you, but Michaeline can print this, so and she's very nice, easy to ask to do that. So you can kind of go through, we have lots of money left to make on piers, but our campground rental looking really good. I need to figure out the way we changed the part-time staffing. I need to get with Michaeline and figure that out. But basically, if you go, we're okay on repair and maintenance, but we have some things. We'll probably run out of utility money, I'm sure, before then, end of the year. I added printing and duplicating, that's on page 10, that's a new line. But if you get to the very last page, we're doing pretty good. We've brought in, almost as much as we were appropriated to spend. We're real close there. And our cash revenue balance is looking pretty good.
I would just say we should make sure we pay close attention to where we just spent the 39,000 from to make sure that we're doing good on those areas or.
Well, yeah, we'll have to empty out that.
All right, any other business to come before the board? Anyone? Yes, ma'am.
I am at campgrounds on lot 46 and a lot behind me is 53. There is a camper that is not on the campsite.
She means like where the parking
I talked
lot
to
is, what she means by the site is each spot has like a parking block thing. And so this one she's talking about last year when we were intending to use it for weekend, we put more stone down. And so when the people want to park there, they parked there because that's where all the stone was and it kind of.
Well, their camper is so big, so
Yeah.
long, that it's all the way back into, it's almost touching our griddle.
Well, I didn't get a chance to tell you, but I already solved it.
Okay, my only thing is, if you go down all the campsites, they're staggered, there's nobody directly behind you, they're staggered, and these people are like right at us. Yeah,
We're just gonna-
he's a long ways away from the campsite.
Yeah, we're gonna move that person because their thing is so long and I don't
It is too
know.
big.
So we'll just move that one back the weekend.
Okay,
Go there from there.
all right, I appreciate that.
I got a question, if you don't mind, I'd like to. Cause I use some grass killer, weed killer on that stone by the. And we all use it. I could spray that real quick, and that would get rid of the. Weeds that are in it, I guess. And it might look like a campsite. More
But it
so
is a
than
very
so,
small, it's very short.
I mean, if you don't mind, I don't mind spraying it, it's not. Not that big a deal. But get rid of that grass.
Oh,
Where
the
they
grass
should
that's in the.
Where the parking thing's supposed to
Yeah.
be, it looks like grass.
Yeah.
It's green,
Mhm,
and where the nice fresh stone was,
mhm,
where the deck was from the other camper,
mhm,
oh man, there's beautiful spot.
mhm.
Then if you don't mind,
I don't
I'll be
mind.
more
Sure.
glad to do that.
You wanna-
Or they should put more stone.
yeah.
Probably not.
Everybody-
Oh, Mary,
Yeah,
at least not this year.
Yeah, but how come that's the only site that they never put any stone in, all the other.
Oh, no, we
So-
did all the weekend sites. I just know. Yeah.
But that site was never put in, nobody ever put stone. in.
because there was somebody there.
Oh, 50
Last year.
green.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've been there for years and never, actually. When we brought in gravel for ours, it's been years, we had enough left. And we were gonna put it in just throw it on that site, and Larry would, let us.
Yeah, I was out there today because I kind of heard a little bit about this, but. So where your grill is and the stones for your grill is like right outside your site, right?
It's like
I mean, there's I don't know if the wood going across.
Like me. What do you call it here?
The what?
There's a common space.
Yeah.
Where people can go. get
Right.
through.
Easement.
These are maybe like.
Well, I do agree, I think that they're gonna move it so it's solid, but we'll just try to make sure that wherever they're parked by the parking block and not over to the
And
right.
that's all there.
I think that sounds.
You'll take care of that, right, Amy? Very good. Glad to hear it. Very good.
Yeah, we got it. Okay, I just.
All right, anything else?
I'll make a motion, we adjourn.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
We're adjourned. Thank you for coming, everyone.